Ça devrait aller mieux. Ça devrait aller mieux. Ça pouvait pas marcher là, hein. Sinon, le truc. Le dernier Sherlock Holmes en date, on avait testé le premier il y a un petit moment. Je sais pas pourquoi on n'avait pas continué. Je sais plus. Mais j'en ai de bons souvenirs. Je sais pas pourquoi on n'a pas continué. C'est la fin de Léon. Les filles. Normalement, j'ai fait tous les réglages possibles et imaginables. Et donc, on peut lancer la partie directe, hein. Ok, ça sauvegarde automatiquement. Bien. Je sais que c'est sous-titré en français. L'ombre sur l'ombre. Ouais, Baker Street. La rue habite Sherlock Holmes, non? Ça doit être Watson.
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
Ok, donc. Ce qu'ils m'ont mis à... Ah non, maintenant je suis un QWERTY. Pour interagir avec les objets. Peut-être changer le... remapper les touches parce que ça va être pénible. Paramètres, commande. Alors là on va mettre du Z. Et donc il va me manquer pour... voilà, ici. On va mettre... A. Ok. A. Z. S. D. Q. Interagir E. Concentration R. Allez bon. Ok, alors comment interagir E? Il y a un truc.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming.
J'en ai une. Un truc. Il y a un garde du corps qui a disparu. Ok.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting.
Ça.
Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Ok, donc ça c'est pour s'entraîner à trouver les indices.
I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
L'instant, c'est le temps de s'y mettre. Il y a rien de précis, il n'y a rien de... Qu'est-ce qu'il veut, Watson?
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes.
Ok, on sort par là alors. C'est quoi l'objectif? Essayez de vous vêtir en fonction du temps. Ok. Un couvre-chef. Là-bas. On peut mettre ça aussi. Un couvre-chef. Le chapeau aussi. Ouais, sympa. Il y a 10 minutes. Stache. D'accord. Couvre-chef. Consultant. Costume blanc. Costume bêche, manche. Soutane, mais oui, mais je l'ai pas au couvre-chef. Chapeau melon. Ok. Couvre-chef. Ouais, c'est ça. Chef, c'est la tête, non, alors. Je suis désolé, mais. Spécial. Peu importe ce qu'on met en fait, c'est pas chiant. Super.
Don't look at me. If you want the newspaper, you'll have to get your hands dirty.
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool.
Épine de cactus.
You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
Get the Strand! Get your copy of the Strand here! Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Il a plus de journée.
Fast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson?
Cool, now I can take the day off.
Qu'as-tu fait de journal?
Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Et moi je pense qu'il dira pas plus.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears, if you have more shillings. Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here.
Ça va briller. Alors, c'est... Élémentaire, c'est ça. Qu'est-ce oui l'exemplaire du Strand? Je sais pas moi. Bon, c'est toujours particulier. Qu'est-ce oui l'exemplaire du Strand? Ok, on va voir le libraire. Par contre, je
From
trouve...
that Mr. Holmes' murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Chez Barnes. Alors, ce serait où ça?
Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here.
Il y en a plus et... Essayer de localiser la carte. Ah, c'est là. Ah oui, mais... Faut que je trouve où est la boutique. On est encore en effet dans la poubelle. Ah. Je fais comment? Un livre chez Barnes, c'est vrai, mais j'ai pas le... Comment ça se fait? Je le vois pas. Ah, ici.
Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here.
Photographie de... Donc les objets. Les photographies. Je l'ai pas.
Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand.
Ah mais ça met plein de trucs ça, déjà que j'ai pas de place. Il y aurait un bouquin qui me manquerait là.
I'm close, I know it. I just need one more piece to crack the case.
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona?
Tu me gênes, Watson. C'est pour ça que j'avais pas continué le premier, parce que je crois que c'est toute association d'idées là, ça m'avait... Même si le jeu a l'air vraiment sympa.
How about that vocal fellow? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would he do something like this?
I'll stand watch, just in case the strange man comes back.
Je l'ai trouvé sans me tailler.
Why go through all this scheming to murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly lethal.
Ça. Il a manqué une preuve. Ici. Il nous aide un peu quand même. Plaisir paraître plus grand.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Ah, for goodness sake.
Ouais, il se passe quand même de trucs là. C'est pas normal ça.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you coming.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
Il y a un truc.
The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Cassé. Je suis pas sûr que ça. C'est quoi? Le chien?
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
Yeah. Un indice. Bon, je sais pas si c'est.
Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby. Finest view London has to offer.
Trois indices.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
Alors, qu'est-ce que j'ai oublié?
An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
Là, on tire des conclusions, chaud quand même.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
Il est barré, c'est barré là.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
J'ai plus. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire quoi? Parler. Parce qu'elle était.
The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall.
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know, not very original.
Les objectifs sont pas très clairs quand même.
We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think.
Du coup, on le cherchait, il le veut plus.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Alors, qu'est-ce que j'ai loupé? C'est là, il y a une quête là ici, pas très clair l'histoire, mais... Ouais. C'est étrange. Cryptologie. Bien. C'est disparu. C'est pas ça. Pas ça. Remorte dans la vitrine, ça passe. En bleu, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Ok, bon, tout y passé, donc je... La preuve. Ce serait plus des plantes alors. Je sais pas là, je comprends quoi. De fleurs mortes, est-ce que je l'ai intégré? Oui. Qu'est-ce que c'est toi? Oui, 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 oui. Du coup, comment on fait?
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
Ouais, ouais, ouais.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Trouver ici. Ok, il n'y a pas d'objectif, de trucs comme ça. Parce que là, je sèche. Si paramètres, je vais regarder les. Et concentration. R. Je baille, dis donc. Bon, R, ça marche pas. Je pensais que la solution viendrait du chien, mais. Passe dans le palais mental, mais c'est hyper galère en fait. Hein, c'est. Pile de livres. Pourquoi le comportement de Barnes est-il si étrange? Je peux pas les retirer, le truc. Je suis sûr c'est bon. Ah, je peux casser ça. J'ai pas assez de... Oh, pourquoi je peux pas? Non. Investigation. Ça marche pas. C'est par couleur que ça se passe. C'est... Pas...
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Pourquoi je suis bloqué toujours dans les jeux comme ça?
I should have worn something warmer.
Simple. Oh oh.
Help me, please.
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
Oui, c'est quelque chose.
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Ah non, non, non. Il veut tout, lui. Oui.
Can I ask you a question? I can't help you with that, sir.
D'accord, merci. Merci quand même.
Are you able to help me?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Could you help me?
I can't help you with that, sir.
On avance, hein.
May I ask for your assistance?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Bouge pas. C'est où qu'il y a un truc? C'est pas possible. Je comprends pas. Qu'est-ce qu'ils disent? Ah, c'est bon, j'ai perdu le... potentiellement empoisonné. Je comprends pas là. Pourquoi ça veut pas déduire? J'ai pas cette preuve. C'est quoi le problème là? Simplement un témoignage là. Pourquoi je peux pas le rajouter? Ah, c'est chaud, hein. Épinglé ça. Holmes, Watson, tu me sers à
Didn't
quoi
you
là?
once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Qu'est-ce que je pourrais lui donner au chien là? Je ne comprends pas. Ça va avoir le chien.
So, answers a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Au hasard, mais je... Il est parti. Ouais, ok. Trouver je devrais une solution, c'est parce que je vois pas. Je perds un temps pas possible.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Voilà. Allez, parce que c'est pas possible. Alors... Fou. Qu'est-ce que j'ai zappé là?
Sure, now I can tell.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself. People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses.
Our national...
Alors, la sortie elle est où?
People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses.
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
J'ai fait combien?
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
J'ai pas trouvé.
The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Deux sur 3.
Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Simple histoire. Deux sur 3. Sur le pont. Ah oui.
Familiar spine. Is this what I found in my dustbin?
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
« 5 visionnages pour Bad. Salut Bad, comment il va? L'enquête avance. Le jeu est joli. Le jeu est vraiment transporté dans la vie de Sherlock Holmes. Par contre, j'en avais fait 2 Sherlock Holmes. Oui. Il y a toujours ce système d'association d'idées là qui... Oh, c'est chaud. Ah. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a sur son front? Elle évite le regard, d'accord. L'honneur de son mari défunt. Chaussures. Ah. Et ok, ok. Super. Yokai. Ouais, ouais. Mais là, il y a ma fille qui me houspille pour regarder The Last of... Attends, c'est quoi? Last of Us Are Dead? Non, c'est quoi? Un truc du genre. Ça passe dans un établissement scolaire, je crois. Je vais me regarder, moi. On va tourner la page, encore un deuil.
My condolences, Mrs. Fleming.
Mr. Holmes?
Your husband's death. You're clearly still in mourning.
Oh, no. I loved him more than anything, of course, but that was some time ago now. Life goes on.
A lesson we all learn, one way or another.
Du coup, c'est All of Us Are Dead. Pardon, ça m'est revenu là. Fournir des preuves.
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still
Il est
grow
bien,
them.
but...
The cactus seems comparatively harmless. Though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
Ah, ok, bon, je lui dirai.
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Salut, Chatouna.
I don't know anything about this, sorry. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Fournir des preuves.
I'll be off.
Je comprends. C'est chaud les associations d'idées sur ce jeu, c'est un peu tiré par les cheveux ce système.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Mais j'étais sur mon let's play là, peut-être qu'il va m'aider parce que...
God save the queen. Harmless. So you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price. Are you familiar with... What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but I go for B. So we've never what he thinks about that would edge such long.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
On va aller voir Monsieur Barnes pour lui dire. C'est ça, c'est ça.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Waouh. Bien. Il faut bien des preuves, je fais ce que je peux.
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really.
J'ai trouvé.
Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached, but since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Oui.
I'll be off.
Alors. Une bonne journée. Très chargée. Très chargée puisque ce matin j'avais la révision de la chaudière. Après, chez le plus grand des deux garçons qui a été opéré aujourd'hui. Bon, ça va, ça s'était bien passé. Donc ils sont rentrés très tard, la patronne. Et du coup, cet après-midi ça a été placo, tirer des gaines. Et placo et tirer des gaines. Et après ils sont rentrés, il a fallu enchaîner les douches, le repas, la vie de famille. Donc j'ai eu une bonne journée, ouais. Bien chargée. Elle a commencé tôt aussi. Et toi, Chatouna? Ah, je sais pas comment faire.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
C'est dommage. Je suis sûr qu'il est bien ce jeu. Mais le fait qu'on te fasse pinailler des heures et des heures et ces preuves, c'est infernal, quoi. Il doit manquer un truc.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop
Je
window?
trouve un truc.
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
Les mentales. Ah oui, là j'ai plus de preuves. Ah, il y en a 2 sur 3. Alors. Yes, ça marche. Monsieur Barnes, c'est un mot de la fleuriste.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Ok, alors on peut aller voir le streamer.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
Mon journal a été souillé.
I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled. You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
On l'a eu.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the obtruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
L'histoire d'un navire il y a quelque chose qui a pété dans le navire. Ça peut être coulé dans la rivière.
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
Let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
C'est une enquête, ça? Sérieux?
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best be off.
Alors ça va. T'es pas polichon, ça.
Utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
C'est le vrai jeu qui démarre.
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But
it's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
C'était le week-end. Ça c'est...
Not much further now.
Ici.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
De vie, pas de... Je vais essayer de trouver ça, mais... Durée de vie. Une petite dizaine d'heures. Chercher à boire, je reviens. Je suis à sec. J'ai le même sentiment que sur le jeu. En fait, il y a deux jeux de Sherlock Holmes qui sont sortis il y a pas longtemps, qui se ressemblent fortement. Celui d'avant, c'était un open world vraiment, je trouve, beaucoup plus travaillé. Celui d'avant aussi, qui était sur Epic, là, qui était graphiquement abouti. Et en fait, classé par chapitre, c'est toujours sympa. Mais il y a ce petit jeu de détective, d'association pas toujours évidente et pertinente, qui fait que ça... Tu pinailles à coller des trucs. Bon, c'est dommage parce que c'est quand même un jeu de qualité, on le voit, hein. Il y a du boulot. Et pour la petite histoire, en fait, c'est le studio qui fait les Sherlock Holmes depuis un bon moment. Il est situé en Ukraine. Donc, vu le contexte actuel, ils ont essayé de faire le... Ils avaient promis plein de choses. Et bon, il n'y a pas tout. Parce que, voilà, ils n'ont pas pu... avec ce qui se passe en Ukraine, finaliser comme ils auraient voulu. Le jeu est pas mauvais, mais par rapport à celui d'avant, je trouve quand même il y a moins de... On a fait un petit pas en arrière.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Oui, je pose une question, il me répond avec un truc de l'espace.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Oui.
Tell me about Kim here.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
Disparu ou... bizarre cette histoire.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Is there any reason Kim here may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Il parle de chien. Enfin, c'est atroce.
Did Kim here make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
Ouais, mais il y a de quoi faire sur l'univers de Sherlock Holmes, hein.
I take it this is the first time Kim here has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Et le manoir. Ouais. Ok. Ah. Ça commence bien, hein.
Chewing tobacco. A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
C'est autre chose, hein. Le truc vert, je sais pas comment il faut la déplacer. Je peux pas aller plus loin. De genoux.
Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes.
To read the ground like an open book.
Non. Il y avait quoi? Il était planqué là. Là? Il s'est planqué de quoi?
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
Non. Ah, pour épingler. C'est du bleu ça aussi. Et moi il me faut du vert. Ah là là, quel problème. Je peux pas faire mieux là. Il manque un bleu.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
Ouais, j'ai trouvé.
A small navy spyglass. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sting really Sir Miser? A Maori nose flute. Gurus, they're called. No air coming through it. Is this a taniwha, a Maori water sport, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
Alors. Chemin.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
On va le tuer. Bien. Ouais, moi je trouve que ça casse le déroulé du jeu, ça. Trop de... Il peut y avoir pas de tuto, très peu... Ici. Oui, Charles l'empereur, c'est pénible ça. Ok, on le remet. Ok, bon. Moi je trouve que qu'on bataille beaucoup. Ok. Quoi ça, épinglé? Oulala, lol. Ça j'en ai. Ah, c'est du... Ah. Ça match ou pas? Yes. Des traces, donc c'est jaune. Yes, putain. C'est l'hiver ça. C'est déjà pénible. On va le dégager celui-là. Les Barnes.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
C'est que le début, hein, quand je vois comment c'est galère dès le départ. C'est vraiment... waouh. Horrible de passer là. Lui, il sert à quoi pour bloquer les portes? Pas. Bon, je crois que on n'est pas loin de la fin.
Where on earth are you going with this?
No.
The door to your garden has
Yes,
an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden. Are you joking? Why would I know this?
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Go on.
Where on earth are you going with this? I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Ce qu'il m'a mis là. C'est que t'es censé être intelligent.
Are you joking? Why would I know this?
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Okay.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No. The man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimihia's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Preuve restante. Tabac chiqué. On va voir. Ok, un bleu. Au moins faire 2 nœuds sur. Alors il dit quoi, Watson?
Do you think Kimihia had an accomplice in his escape?
Statue, il est plus de tête, il est tombé. Effectivement, c'est rageant. Bon, je pense qu'on va rester là parce qu'en fait je suis un peu perplexe de ces choix d'associations qui sont un peu tirés par les cheveux et je peux pas me le permettre en fait ça. Donc il est même pas sur Rétro-gaming. On a un sauvegarder au cas où. Donc, bilan. Je crois que je l'ai déjà fait le bilan. Hein. Je crois que vous avez pu voir même l'évolution entre les deux jeux. Même plus que les jeux. Même celui d'avant était comme ça. Ça nuit un peu au récit parce que c'est laborieux quoi. C'est vraiment laborieux. Alors certes, je suis fatigué de ma journée, mais je trouve quand même que alors qu'il pense à un autre gameplay que ça parce que ça casse un peu l'histoire qui en plus celle-ci devait était d'après ce que j'en ai entendu très bonne puisque ça se passait avec un univers un peu Lovecraftien, ouais. Je suis déçu que ce système-là soit toujours en place. Mais je suis d'accord avec toi, Bud, il y a une coop, ça pourrait être bien, il y a plein de dérivés qu'on pourrait faire, et puis l'univers est assez riche. En tout cas, demain, il faut absolument qu'on continue Resident Evil. On va pas lâcher maintenant. Ça, c'est sûr. Hein. Mais bon, je vais être en congé. Il faut vraiment que je récupère mon sommeil de retard. Et puis ça va le faire. Chatoun était parti, Pocket et Bad. Voilà. Je vais vous souhaiter une bonne nuit. Ça va être, je pense que je vais sombrer rapidement. Donc c'est vrai que les soirs où je suis fatigué, et en ce moment ça se répète, Là, Sherlock Holmes, il a fini par m'achever, là. C'est chaud. C'est dommage. Parce que le jeu paraît bien pour autant. Passez une bonne nuit et à demain pour Resident Evil. Ciao, ciao.